Ranking the 10 best midfielders in the world. Number 10 Jorginho, Chelsea. Jorginho is possibly one of the best passers of the ball in the world at the moment. He may not have the same numbers in terms of goals and assists as the other players on this list, but the simplicity to his game is one of the beauties of it. The game seems to slow down when the ball is at his feet, and he makes it look very easy. He is also perfectly suited to the way Maurizio Sarri wants his sides to play, and that has shown over the last couple of years. He is crucial in the base of a midfield three for Chelsea, just as he was at Napoli, and he already seems to be adapting well to life in the Premier League. Number 9 Casemiro, Real Madrid. With all the talented players that we have seen at Real Madrid over the years, it would be easy to forget Casemiro. With the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Gareth Bale, Marco Asensio, and Isco all playing ahead of him over the last few years, Casemiro is almost the silent man in this midfield. He does the dirty work that will never hit the headlines, but is just as important as the men in front of him. The Brazilian has proved a bit of a bargain in his time at Real Madrid, having joined the Spanish club from Sao Paulo for £5.4 million. Number 8 Sergio Busquets. Much like Casemiro, Busquets has perhaps been a victim of the success of the players around him. The Spaniard was part of one of the greatest midfields of all time, along with Xavi and Andres Iniesta. He wasn't as talented as that pair, but he still played a massive part in that side's success. He is still a very gifted player technically, just not as good as Iniesta or Xavi, who are probably two of the greatest midfielders we have seen. Busquets reads the game as well as any midfielder in the world, and recovers the ball better than any other player in that Barcelona team. Number 7 Thiago Alcantara, Bayern Munich. Had it not been for injuries, there's a good chance that Thiago would be right at the top of this list. He was a favorite of Pep Guardiola, who first bought him into the side at Barcelona, and then took him with him when he moved to Bayern Munich in 2013. However, he has been held back by injuries in the last few years, and it has restricted his progress. He is now entering his 6th season with Bayern Munich, but because of injuries, he has been limited to just 98 Bundesliga appearances. Number 6 Toni Kroos, Real Madrid. Kroos has been a World Cup winner with Germany. This list is dominated by Real Madrid players, and Kroos is just another one. He may have been surpassed by one or two other members of the Real midfielders, but he is still a brilliant midfielder. He is another one of those midfielders who has the ability to make the game look very easy, and dictate play in the center of the park. It seems incredible that Real Madrid paid only £22.5 million to bring Kroos to the club. He adapted so well to the style of La Liga, and has gone on to become a massive part of the success that Real have achieved in recent years. Number 5 David Silva, Manchester City. Silva is the oldest player on this list, but the longevity he has had at the top is something that is seriously impressive. The Spaniard joined City from Valencia in 2010, but he still seems to be getting better. He has also been able to reinvent himself in recent years under Pep Guardiola. He was very much someone who played in behind the striker when Guardiola first took over, but he has now been transformed into a top center midfielder. His football brain is probably among the best in the world, and despite not being the quickest player, has an ability to get himself into the right areas to control a game. Number 4 Isco, Real Madrid. Isco's influence on this Real Madrid team is often forgotten. Isco is somehow forgotten when it comes to talking about the attacking talent at Real Madrid. Cristiano Ronaldo has dominated proceedings for nearly the past decade, and if it hasn't been him, it's been Gareth Bale, Karim Benzema, or Marco Asensio. But it's Isco who makes that side tick, and his influence on that front line cannot be underestimated. It's easy to forget that he is still only 26, given that he has been at the top of the game for 5 years, and he has the composure of a veteran in big game moments. He is versatile in those attacking areas as well, and he has had to be at Real Madrid. Number 3 N'Golo Kanté, Chelsea. 5 years ago, No one would have predicted the rise of N'Golo Kante, least of all the man himself. Having joined Leicester City for just £5.6 million from seen in 2015 as a relatively unknown name, Kante quickly established himself in the Premier League, and was brilliant in the Foxes' remarkable run to the title. This was enough to persuade Chelsea to make a move for the Frenchman, and even at £30 million, that looks like a real bargain for the Blues. Number 2, Kevin De Bruyne, Manchester City. De Bruyne is a part of what is arguably one of the greatest transfer misjudgments in modern football. In January 2014, Chelsea, managed then by Jose Mourinho, sold De Bruyne to Wolfsburg for just £17 million. Fast forward 4 years, and the Belgian is one of the best midfielders in the world, and worth infinitely more than that £17 million. How Chelsea would love a player like that right now. Chelsea's loss has been Manchester City's gain, as since signing for City in 2015, he has been arguably the best player in the Premier League. Number 1, Luka Modric, Real Madrid. Not many people would have predicted this in 2013 after he was voted as the worst signing in La Liga history following his first season with Real Madrid. No one believes that now, and he benefited greatly from the appointment of Carlo Ancelotti, and later Zinedine Zidane, as manager. Ancelotti allowed him the freedom to express himself in the middle of the park, and with Zidane, firstly as assistant manager, and then as number 1, there aren't many better men for a center midfielder to learn from. Modric may have peaked later than most, as he is currently 32, and this has potentially been his best year. He was the Golden Ball winner at the World Cup.